The one that really triggered me was, and just, I was like, whoa. And it has been since been deleted. So from my last video, the thing that upset the most people, which was really upsetting to me, but I didn't want to necessarily harp on that and turn it into something, but it was upsetting to me at the time, was this comment by Jeff.
Over one of my friends. I'm not going to see you out and pretend like, oh, hey, how you doing? Just to avoid that little awkward moment. I'm going to make it more awkward because you fucked over my friend. Now, I can't just go around assaulting everybody because then I'd be in jail. And that's not the right thing to do.
I can't go around assaulting everyone because then I would go to jail. So, like, a lot of people were like, wow, that's his first sort of, like, thing to say, is to, like, I can't just go assaulting everyone. Which, on its own, like, honestly, it was, like, it's you know, I can act like I'm not scared or whatever like that, but, you know, I mean, at the same time, that's a very aggressive thing. Like, even someone who, like me, who's very, like, dramatic and emotional, that's not the first thing I think of, like, oh, like, he was gonna assault me, until I heard that, and then I was just like, oh, like, that's where his, like, brain goes to. But again, I wasn't really necessarily harping on that, because I was like, well, whatever. What really was like, wow, this is a group that protects people besides the situation of someone dating someone underage, besides the situation of someone physically holding someone down at VidCon, besides the situation of a 17-year-old being at a 46-year-old birthday party this year, besides, like, hanging out with underage girls, and besides people buying underage people drinks, which I have, like, seen myself, like, besides protecting all of that stuff, like, I realize they can get away with so much and with saying anything, and they know that too. And it was never more apparent than Todd's post, Jeff's reaction, and this other guy named Jay Boyce, who also is part of their kind of crew. It was a picture of, okay, so this was the picture. It was back to jail for this, and Jay Boyce says, you can't just go around assaulting people, Jeff, like that. Obviously, this post was very quickly deleted, but the fact that it was basically, they all just mocked it, including Scott. And I hate to throw him under the bus because Scott's always been very nice and polite and respectful to me, but they all obviously deleted comments about that on their podcast or Scottcast or whatever. But then Scott kind of mocked it as well by being like, you know, I only came here from Trisha's video. You know, I didn't make that video, or I'm not making this video to cancel anyone. Like, that's not, like, I don't want people canceled. You know, I want people to take responsibility and have some accountability for their actions, which nobody, including David, has ever done. It's not even about being in that group or whatever, but I was David's friend, and David just completely cutting me up cold is because I made a video expressing my, you know, uncomfortability with a situation that happened on camera that I wasn't comfortable with. David, there's a whole video of David and Jason, like, riling me up, which is fine, but the way they treated me, they do not treat the other girls in the group. Again, it's fine, I took a lot of jokes, but, like, when they just, again, didn't take accountability for something that really hurt me in the vlogs that week, I was like, I'm gonna make a video. Like, if they can make this public and put everything about our relationship and friendship out there, like, why can't I just say, hey, I'm not cool with that. I look like a laughing stock. On that point, I want this to be the last video I make on this. Like I said, if there's mistruth spoken about me, if there's some ignorant things spoken about me, if people are speaking about me that don't know a situation or are speaking on someone else's behalf, as Jeff did for Jason and David, then I'm gonna respond, especially if it's about me, to me. If you say, hey, stop talking about me, I'm allowed to share my truths and speak my stories to whoever I want, as would I expect you to do the same. But joking about, like, assault and stuff, that's not cool. It's actually gross. It's actually disgusting. And to have that be protected on a platform. I want to talk about this clip that was sent to me. Actually, I was tagged in, so I'm gonna go to my Instagram. I was tagged in this quite a lot. It's a podcast episode. Again, Jeff.
Weird. Realizes that somebody is a psychopath and they shouldn't have a platform. They still have their platform, you know, they still have their audience, and they still could share their opinion on stuff, and they could be absolutely crazy in a mental institution, and they come out and they still have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's so crazy that Jeff still has a platform, because he's absolutely out of his...
Again, maybe not directed at me, but there's so much wrong with that. There's so much ignorance in that. As that caption says, whoever posted that, you know, Jeff, a convicted felon, shading at Trisha Paytas for being in a mental institution, still not saying her name. He's an actual piece of shit, and I don't understand why everyone is so far up his ass. Stop stigmatizing mental health struggles. So, to that point, again, perhaps it wasn't about me. Obviously, he was there that night. I was 5150'd. So, maybe about me, maybe not. The point is like, one, yes, Jeff, you're a convicted felon. So by your logic, you shouldn't have a platform. You shouldn't even be allowed at these pop-up shops with all these kids and children around. Like, you're a convicted felon. So why, you shouldn't even be, some people would say you're not even allowed, shouldn't even be allowed out in society. You know what I mean? Like, you're a danger to society. It's ignorant comments like that it's the same logic. And it's just, it's so ignorant and so stupid. And who are you to say who gets to have a platform and speak their mind, to call someone a psychopath because they were in a mental institution? There are so many levels of mental health struggles. So many levels. And it's so wrong to say because you were in a mental institution you shouldn't be allowed to have a YouTube channel. You should have a platform to speak your opinion. You're no longer even a human being. You shouldn't be allowed to have an opinion. Those are the people who should have a platform. People who are struggling and dealing with life day to day as it goes on. It's so unbelievably disgusting and ignorant. And it's people like you that make people afraid to get help and seek help for their struggles. No one chooses to have mental illness, to be mentally unstable, or to even have depression. No one chooses that. In that clip about being like psychopaths and mental health and just, or being in a mental institution shouldn't be allowed to have a platform. Like, who are you? Who are you to say that? And like I said, I let it go. I'm up to that point where I'm like, I'm never gonna get an apology. They're never gonna be sorry. They're gonna keep going, and as long as, you know, and that's fine. But I'm not gonna stop speaking my truth and speaking, you know, like I said, I can move on or whatever, but it's always gonna be a bitter taste in my mouth. And when I hear someone like Jeff say ignorant things, like, and when he doesn't know the situation, like he said, that I effed over one of his friends, when that is not the situation, okay? I'm not mad that you didn't say hi. Everything you said in that video was completely wrong. You just don't, when you speak on a situation you don't know about, you're dumb. It just, bottom line, you have no information. And that's it. It's just dumb. So, like I said, I am done speaking on this. Anyone who has DM'd me, I can't be your voice for you. Speak up publicly, speak up privately to someone, whatever you need to do. If you feel the need to do it, I'm not someone to ever say like you have to share your story. As someone who's been a victim of sexual abuse way in the past, it's all about timing. Sometimes you can't share stuff right away. Sometimes you may never feel comfortable, and it's just all on your timing. But I can't be the voice for everyone. I don't want my channel to be like, let's expose people. Even when I made my initial video, it was never to expose someone as being bad. I was upset and embarrassed and humiliated about my boyfriend and his 21-year-old best friend trying to get him to hook up with another girl while we're in a relationship. It was just embarrassing, and that relationship was real to me. Whether it was real to them, I have no idea. But you know, I never made that video to be like, you know, cancel them, as I'm not making this video to cancel anyone either. Take accountability. Y'all are 30 years old. Take accountability, take responsibility, realize you do have a platform, as do I, and making jokes about assault as a 30-year-old male is harmful, dangerous, gross, disgusting, and should never be promoted.